Okay, part two, guys. Sorry, had to do another video before this one here. It's still the 14th of Tuesday, April. It's still tax day, and it's about 3:53 in the morning. I wanted to do a part two, and not a shout out, but just in general. To me, integrity is important, and I didn't think about it was being important when I was growing up. I didn't think I was supposed to be a guy full of character and integrity. But I kept bullshitting my family left and right about other things. Yeah, I didn't feel too good about it either. I felt uglier than shit. And sometimes I still do. Even if I happen to tell the truth, it still feels uglier than shit because it's going to be hurting somebody in the process. I've got people asking me, how come I don't call? Well, because I forgot the name and I forgot the number. And I'm lousy on integrity for not saying that. And I screwed up that one. I know there's other people out there that keep track of me one way or another. I haven't texted, I haven't called, and I hadn't made that a thing in my lifetime. Before we had cellular phones, before we had texting, before we had computers, before we had the technology we have right now, there's always pick up the handset or write a letter or just walk up to the door and just knock on it. I was lousy at that. If I was being taken to a family friend's house, I was always with company. I was always in the background. But I hardly ever made it a thing of going to a friend's house, unless I was a lot younger and I had friends I knew I could knock on the door and say, hey, how you doing? But as I grew up, I learned how to be more and more careful on that one. More fearful, more panic, and just more isolated. So I didn't have that cultivation going on inside of me. I couldn't cultivate friends. At least not enough of them anyway. And I didn't go over to their house to knock on the door and say, hey, can he come out and play? Or can I hang out? No, I didn't. They came over to my house to hang out. As a teenager, young kid growing up into a teenager, I was awkward, lanky, a nerd, and I didn't really fit in. But there were some other people out there that thought they could fit in with me. And since my house was closer to the damn high school, they made my place to hang out. So they'd hang out until they were ready to go home. Of course, a lot of them lived spread out, but I was the only place close enough to the damn high school. Growing up as an adult, I had family friends, but I went over to their house only when I had company with me. My brother would be driving, my mother would be going. We'd make it a family thing. But not by myself. When I lost my brother several years ago, I'm still living in the apartment complex, still living in the same apartment unit, I isolated. It's like living in my bedroom all over again, except the whole damn place is my bedroom. It's ugly, it's trashed, it's bug-ridden. I still gotta get rid of the damn garbage. It's embarrassing for people to see how I live, or how I exist. But if they happen to see the bugs crawling around, well, guess what, guys? I tell people I'm in bug war. They don't believe me, just watch my vids. And I got a problem remembering names sometimes. Or a lot of times anyway. I'll remember the faces because I recognize their faces, but I just can't get their names right. Or keep track of the phone numbers. I isolate like crazy. I stay with my dog until the day she dies. After that, I don't know. Trying to be honest, guys. I have to live by honesty. I have to live by integrity. There may be too much information out there. People are going to be using it against me. Fuck them. There, fuck them. What are you going to do to me? Some things I stay in. Some things I don't get involved with. At times I do notice what's going on around the apartment, and other times I tend to myself in the complex. I've always been an introvert. There are two types of persons I discovered in my lifetime. Introverts and extroverts. Extroverts are the guys who are outgoing. They're outgoing. They're outside of their realm. They're outside of the safety zone. They're outside, period. Me, I was a hider. I was a classic closet hider. I stayed in my own little world. I can watch the world outside of the windows. I listen. Sometimes at night there's a lot of partying going on. I listen. I hear what's happening in the neighborhood, or at least in my apartment complex anyway. I'll walk around from time to time. Only when I have need to. The rest of the time I stay inside. That's been my thing for a long while. I got shrinks, therapists telling me I need to get out. I need to get sunlight. I need to get contact with people. I need. Social contact will make you healthy. You know, maybe. I've lived as an isolator and I'm only 60 years old, so yeah. Sometimes it does take a toll. I made friends. I had some of them do geographics, and a few of them lost their lives. Lost their lives, that's a hell of a grief situation right there. But it's even worse is when they start doing a disappearing act and then they don't respond to anything I send, so that's even worse. They'll tell me stories on the last day. Couldn't be honest. That's why some of them I actually blacklisted in my head, and I don't talk to them anymore. I figured paths are not going to be crossed again, so I ain't dealing with them anymore. Kind of hard when some of these people I've lived and dealt with for parts of my life. They don't want to be communicative. They got their own little issues. Despite the fact I had a portion of their life invested. They in mine and I in theirs. But they don't want to be communicative. I'm supposed to let that go. No, not me. No. I still harbor a grudge. I still harbor the bad feelings. I gotta let this shit go. Only because I wanted to be part of something larger than me. But if I'm going to have people backstabbing my ass, now I got a problem dealing with everybody else these days, because I don't know who's going to be backstabbing me next. I got trust issues. And I'm saying this, I'm putting it on the record. You want to hear about integrity? Here's my integrity. This is how I am right now. I know some people are reeling over this one. It's not you guys. Or maybe, I don't know. At times I can be a good guy to talk to deal with. If I can help you, I'll help you. But if I'm going to get lied to, I got a problem. I know about lying to people, and it hurts like hell sometimes. Hell, it hurt like hell all the time. I didn't like it. But then again, you lie, it's going against your nature. And sometimes you have to lie to protect your ass. Or protect somebody else's ass. Doesn't really help. But it happens that way. As for trying to be honest and having integrity with them. I try. I don't get into much details. Unless I feel the opening is necessary. And then I'll talk. And if I don't get the response that I think that they've actually listened, then I don't deal. They only care about one other thing. And I'm not dealing with it. So. Of course, you can knock on the door. You can ring the bell. I'll answer. But me coming over to your house? Hardly. You think I'm standoffish? Maybe I am standoffish. I've been dealing with myself for a long while now. Trying to be self-sufficient. It's not self-centered. I'm surviving. I'm living. If you can call it living. It'd be nice to come outside the house every once in a while, just get some air, get the mail, get some stuff going, get a trip, deal with the general public out there. I have to be careful out there because I don't know who I can trust and not. So, but that's how I am right now. I deal with my dog. I deal with her constant needs. I know I've got constant needs. And it's hard as hell for me to ask for help. Because I'm always getting backstabbed one way or another. I've had that for experiences. It sucks. But this is my integrity being shown. That being said, guys,